So today, we have the Alpha Skullcrawler, the Skull Devil from Kong Skull Island, taking on the monstrous Lizzie from Rampage. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, we gotta talk about size. And Lizzie was significantly bigger than George and Ralph, probably because she actually ate the Energyne pathogen capsule as opposed to just sniffing it like the other two did. Also, alligators are just bigger than gorillas and wolves, so that could also be why. She was 50 to 60 feet tall, over 200 feet long, and weighed 150 tons. But the Alpha Skullcrawler, or also known as the Skull Devil, was by far the biggest skullcrawler on Skull Island. It was 90 feet tall, 194 feet long, and weighed anywhere between 40 and 100 tons. So the Skull Devil was quite a bit taller, but Lizzie was quite a bit heavier. Um, so Lizzie casually tossed and crushed multiple military vehicles at once, effortlessly flipped over a ferry full of people, easily plowed through buildings, even a skyscraper, overpowered George and sent him flying, and manhandled, or, well, I guess, wolf handled Ralph and bit his head off. She was incredibly durable. I mean, multiple rockets and explosives to the face did nothing to her. She tanked a skyscraper falling right on top of her, easily took hits from George, missiles only pissed her off, and she was fine after an entire belt of grenades exploded right in her gills. She also endured George ripping off one of her tusks and then stabbing her with it. Um, and she was surprisingly fast and mobile, being able to scale up a skyscraper and even catch a plane in her mouth as it was passing right over her. And it was a plane, they're very fast. She perfectly timed it. But the Skull Devil casually sent a guy flying like 100 feet at least, knocked over trees just by walking, overpowered and knocked out and injured Kong, threw Kong a great distance with its tail, hurt Kong with its bites, and generally matched Kong's strength. Um, when he recovered the next day after being knocked out, right? So he was like revitalized, re energized, and the Skull Devil was generally able to match him. But remember, this was a much smaller and younger Kong than when he was in GVK. So, uh, even infant skull crawlers were already bulletproof, and one ignored being engulfed in flames. But the Skull Devil easily took Kong's attacks. This includes having a rock and a tree smashed over its head, having its head smashed against a cliffside, kept on fighting with a boat propeller in its shoulder, and after its neck was sliced open as well. Even walked off a flare being shot right in its eye. Um, and although this guy doesn't have any feats, skull crawlers in general were very fast and agile, and that pertains to this guy as well, especially due to his leaner build. So I'd say the Skull Devil is overall stronger. He's faster, taller, more agile, while Lizzie has a stronger bite and is more durable. Now, let's get on for their weapons. Lizzie's entire back is covered in these giant spikes, which protects her from attacks she would otherwise struggle to defend against. And the tip of her tail is covered in spikes as well, making it an excellent clubbing weapon that sent George flying. And then, of course, her bite with her teeth and her tusks is her main weapon. A powerful bite. But the Skull Devil, like all skull crawlers, had a prehensile tongue that could be used for restraining, grappling, choking, etc. They also had a really long tail that could be used for basically the same thing. I would assume that it's stronger than their tongue, but yeah. Um, and Then there's this as well. Skullcrawlers live in a constant state of starvation. Their hunger is insatiable and never dying. It's always there. This makes them hyper carnivores, opportunistic predators, and very, very aggressive and tenacious. These guys don't give up on a hunt and they ignore pain as well. So, who wins? Well, the Skull Devil is decently taller, overall stronger, simply because of his fight with Kong. Lizzie never fought anything like Kong. Well, she did, George, but Kong was significantly bigger and stronger than George. Um, it ignores pain, has its tongue and tail, it's more aggressive and tenacious, and its leaner and slender build grants it much more speed, agility, and mobility. But Lizzie is quite a bit heavier, has a stronger bite, tougher, and she has her spiked back and tail. I think the Skull Devil's best advantages is its speed, its agility, and just hyper aggressiveness. These things are built like, I don't know, a black mamba with powerful legs, minus the poison, you know? They're fast, they're agile, yeah. But I'd say Lizzie's best advantages would be her weight, defenses, and durability. Like, she was built like a freaking tank. Um, so we have a tank versus an aggressive speedster. And in this fight, specifically, I like the tank's chances better. The tank's, I think, is going to be winning this fight. It's going to be harder for the Skull Devil to hurt Lizzie than vice versa. Lizzie's weapons and defenses are better suited for this fight. And I just don't think the Skull Devil's tongue and tail will be able to do much. If it tries to use its height advantage and bite down on the back, her back or her neck, she's going to have a lot of spikes in her mouth, and it's going to hurt. The Skull Devil might ignore pain, but I mean, it's gonna make her rethink things, right? I would say the Skull Devil is more intelligent. Skull Crawlers have shown to be very intelligent, but I don't know if she could figure out a way to take down Lizzie, except maybe flipping her over, but it's gonna be harder to do since Lizzie is significantly heavier than the Skull Devil. This would be a fun fight, it's just a case of durability being a better advantage than speed. I'm siding with Lizzie on this one. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought, and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and other great stuff. I truly do appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.